to try to drown out some of the background noise. Kyle says, "Good afternoon." Hey, Kyle, how's it going? How's the weather where you are? It's pretty clear out there today, but it is cold. Definitely getting into the winter here in Mount Shasta, which, we're in the north, and that's where. Sorry about that. I was trying to get my chat to say all messages and not just the most recent and irrelevant or whatever, and click something else. So, anyways, hopefully you guys are doing well. It's kind of noisy in here. I'm at Ellie's in Weed, where I used to come here to do my lives a while back. It's been a while since I've been here. So, yeah. I got some new books recently. This vegan recipes in 30 minutes. I'm kind of usually disappointed with vegan recipe books because I'm a picky eater, but it's really cool to see how many different, recipes and stuff can be recreated in a vegan version. Most of you know I recently had the vegan Thanksgiving. Well, it's not really recently, it was like last month, but still. And was able to make turkey with stuffing. We had mashed potatoes and this really awesome gravy and corn and glazed carrots and different desserts. And I don't know, it's just really awesome, what can be made with plants. It just takes a little bit more creativity than, your lazy programming to just go to the grocery store and get flesh and have these same meals over and over again, which I'm not an anti-same meal kind of person. I could probably, have vegan cheeseburgers most of the time and be pretty happy with life. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how much creativity lacks in the standard American diet, for sure, and how we can just recreate these things. It's just so cool. So anyways, there wasn't really much mashed cauliflower with roasted garlic. That sounds pretty good. I have a book that has a keto shepherd's pie with cauliflower, mashed potatoes, and it's super good. I should make that sometime soon. But yeah, kind of have a vegan recipe book collection going on. So, hey David D, how's it going? David says, looking good. Oh, thanks. YouTube didn't notify you. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, glad that you can make it anyways. Hey Scuba Maru, how's it going? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. The other book that I got, I was actually just reading it a little bit before I jumped on this live. It's called 12 Steps to Raw Foods, How to End Your Dependency on Cooked Foods. Cooked foods are really addictive, and ultimately our system, is designed to be eating raw fruit, and when we cook our foods, the life force energy of them is diminished. If you look into Kirlian photography, it shows different pictures of different products, whether it's fruit or flesh, and how the life force energy of that food is just beaming when it's raw, when it's just being cooked by the sun and all exposed to all of the elements outside. And then when you actually put it into a pan and start adding heat to it, or whatever, cook it whatever way, the nutritional value actually diminishes. That life force energy in that product is diminished, and that is, killing the nutrients and making it less healthy for us. So it'll be interesting to get more into this book. The part that I'm at right now, she's mainly saying that her family was on a raw foods diet for a while, and they still started developing various issues. And she was saying that the problem was, in her experience, that, I guess I should, never mind, we'll just go with she. They're basically talking about how greens make up the main diet for many animals, and I think they were saying that it would be like chimps consume 40% greens. That corresponds to 2 bunches of greens per day from the supermarket displays for humans, according to this research. So they started to put, green smoothies and stuff in their diet, and noticed a big change. And it was kind of interesting. I haven't gotten very far, but after a while of just blending a bunch of kale and then adding bananas, I think they said. They kept going with these green smoothies, and eventually she's like walking down the boardwalk or something with her husband, and she once my husband and I were walking in California along a grassy trail when I suddenly began to salivate from looking at the dark green crispy branches of malva weeds growing in abundance along our path. I kept catching myself wanting to grab and eat them. So it's kind of interesting that they're talking about how their cravings actually changed and they wanted to eat more green stuff. I definitely don't salivate when I look at grass. But ironically, I have said before, like, I would eat grass before I would go back to eating animals. People were always worried about, when crap hits the fan, vegans are going to go back to eating meat because, necessity or whatever. It's like, well, if you know how to forage for food, if you actually use your brain, you don't need to go and kill animals, and also even further than just that, if you are a faster, if you have control over your hunger and those more physical, basal urges that we all have, that's definitely going to help. So I definitely encourage fasting. I have fallen a little bit off the bandwagon this summer and haven't been doing as much fasting as I should, and I plan to change that and get more into the raw foods so that I can feel better about myself, because we're all going to look back on our lives and judge our own actions and whatever, and we're probably going to be our worst critics. So, and I know I'm going to be pretty hard. So Mordo, hey, how's it going? Hello from Buffalo. How's it going in Buffalo? Is it wintry there yet for you guys? David D says UFOs over New Jersey. I was actually going to bring up the UFOs, or whatever they're saying it is. First of all, we live in a completely controlled reality, so everything is controlled. They're trying to say that they don't know what things are, or any of these, all of the mystery stuff. Like, there's no mystery that those that are controlling the narrative right now know what those things are that are flying above. They're being allowed to fly and hover above military and secret, not secret, but more secure locations like military bases and all that stuff. And there's a lot of different, Project Bluebeam and rumors of wars and all these different things that are coming down the pipelines for us, and this is all just part of it. David D says too low, can't see the queen's eyes. What do you mean? Kyle says, hey, I'm swapping trucks because my main one needs some work. Oh no. Kyle, your truck is always getting worked on, it seems. Maybe it goes through periods of time, because I know that, I have some unlucky car issues myself. But yeah. Mordo says, cool, the snow on the ground. Points south got 4 feet. Wow. I'm not sure where that is, but hopefully you stay warm and safe there in Buffalo. I've never been. I've only been to, the main parts of New York City. So, anyways. Okay, David. Hopefully that is better for the visibility. That aspect. But anyways, so back to the alien, I don't know if it's alien invasion or what they have planned, whether they're going to try to say that it's an alien thing or it's, foreign countries or whatever they're trying to do. Just know already ahead of time that everything is controlled in this reality. Like, it's not a surprise. Trump wasn't a surprise president. Nothing that is happening to us is a surprise. They control the economy. They can make it better or worse for any of the presidents, to manipulate us, to, make us think that one president's better than the other, when ultimately they're all working together, for the same goal against humanity. So, hey Dave, how's it going? Dave says, what was your favorite thing you made for the Thanksgiving dinner? Oh man, it was all so good. If I had to make one thing again for Christmas, I would probably make the stuffing with the turkey because that was really, really good. But yeah, I think overall it was just a really awesome meal in general, and everybody that came liked it. I also shared all the recipes for anybody else that wants to know onto the Shasta Vegan Community Facebook page. There's a whole, comment section full of all of the different recipe links that you can make it for yourself. I would love to help in whatever ways that I can to help other people go vegan and ultimately to save the animals, whether you choose to be a junk food vegan or a raw foodie, that's your choice. But just know, even for the raw foodists, we had raw stuffing, raw cauliflower, zucchini, mashed potatoes, raw gravy, raw cheeses. So it's just really cool to experiment with all of those things and show people that it can be done in a cruelty-free manner. So, yay! David D says all the presidents are leaders of every leaders of every country are inverts, all serving Satan. Definitely. And I also just read that the president of Korea, or I don't know, they just tried to declare martial law recently, and now they're getting getting impeached or something. All part of the show. It always is. But it's kind of interesting to see what is going on in other places around the world, because I tend to not pay attention to the news. It's all fake. It's all controlled. So, yeah. The Israelite says, yo, what's up? How's it going? Thankfully, the firmament is up. Bob says, how's it going? Hey, Bob, how are you? Fascinating times we live in, but ongoing rain in Vancouver. Okay. Getting ready for the snow, right? Yeah, I haven't checked my email for a while, Bob, so I apologize for not getting back to you, but I will check that later today. Yesterday, the Canadian federal government ordered an end to the strike by 55,000 Canada Post workers. The strike began November 15th and doubtful that all Christmas mail can be processed. Ooh. Why were they on strike, Bob? That's interesting. People weren't going to get their letters to Santa Claus in time. It's kind of crazy what lengths people will go to lie to their kids about Christmas in general, whether it's Santa Claus or, I don't know, I was watching these, people with their elf on a shelf recently, trying to beat their kids to the kitchen in the morning to make sure that the elf moved. It's you guys are, really elaborate in this, this lie when there's so much real magic around us, right? Why not teach your children how to meditate and, activate their healing hands and all the other cool, real magic parts of this reality that we can be involved in instead of just lying? It's not, I don't know, it's sad. One of the girls that I used to work with would be like, oh, I get all of the school supplies and the clothes and all that, and Santa gives my daughter all of the fun things. I'm like, I sit here and work with you every day, and you work really hard to basically give the credit to another entity that, why wouldn't you say, no, I loved you and I worked really hard to get this for you because I love you, instead of, lying. Yeah. What does this say? The Israelite says, I think Lugiu, I have no idea what we're talking about here, does not look like the first picture they showed us. That was a rubber mask of the powerful drug dealer wore with rubber mask. Okay. I know there's a lot of rumors about masks going around, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do occasionally throw a mask in there to promote this agenda, but they're not all wearing masks and bodysuits and stuff. They actually get surgeries, and that's why they have scars. If they're all wearing masks, it just kind of discredits all of the other agendas like transvestigation and other things that, that are the truth. So, yeah. John says, hi from John in northern Michigan. Hey, John, how's it going? Where on the globe do you live? Yeah, that's funny. I lived in Michigan myself for a while in Grand Haven, and so they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" And then you just like point to the part on the hand where you live. So, anyways, besides for the alien invasion, I'm not really sure what else is. Well, I guess it's not really an alien invasion, right? They haven't told us what is going on, and they're acting all hush hush about it. And those of us who are flat earthers know that aliens aren't from outer space. They were already here before us. To them, we are the aliens. We're the new species, the newer species on Earth, and you know if everybody woke up to flat Earth tomorrow and knew that space wasn't real, they would have to choose a different path, essentially, right? Like, there's not any one set path in stone, just like a chess game. You don't have to make any certain moves. You can play a chess game 100 times and make a different move every time and have a completely different game. That's the same thing in our reality. When we make a move, then our opponent makes a move, and they change their moves based on what we do. So it'll be interesting what they end up doing. There's a lot of people that are trying to say that they're, trying to delay the when Trump gets in office and all this stuff, like basically against Trump. And I don't believe any of that's true. Just like, again, part of the show where they put something that you might want in front of you, and then they make it only for a limited time offer or whatever. Just like these manipulative tools to essentially get us to choose what they want us to choose. John, I'm not really sure where Petoskey is, but hopefully you stay warm, because Michigan can definitely get pretty cold. Dave D says, yeah, these UFOs are as big as SUVs, no known propulsion system, and faster than fighter jet by far. Interesting. I haven't listened to all of the allegations regarding them, but I know that there are people that are, oh, this is crazier than any technology that we know or whatever, right? But also, we're not given the advanced tech that those that are ruling over us have had the whole time. There's nothing new under the sun. They're not reinventing all of this technology every time that it comes up. They're basically just selling us stories of, oh, this person invented this person invented this, and for whatever reasons, they need different figureheads of all different shapes and sizes. You got that too. In all different, categories. So you have your science heroes and your political heroes and your art heroes and your musicians and your actors and all of these things are all a whole controlled network that's essentially working together. So that's not to say that those at the bottom even know like all of the details. A lot of them are going to be on need-to-know basis, but they are ultimately serving, the same agenda and purpose, which is against humanity. So John says Alf was an alien. He ate cats. Okay. Bob says owners of XRP will be able to buy the coming flying cars. Interesting. I may hold out for a spacecraft. What are we going to call it if space isn't real, though, Bob? They can't be called spacecraft, can they? I personally am not really a big promoter of the flying stuff, because I think that the birds should have that space for themselves. We should tap into like the high-speed underground system and just stay where God put us. But I understand the allure and all of that kind of excitement in those technologies. David D says they want to program the humans without them panicking. It's kind of interesting to see how they're doing the whole alien thing. And I don't know, I've just watched a few things this morning about just different news people and seeing what they're releasing to the public about it. Like, oh, why aren't the governments doing all this stuff? And nobody wants to say it's China because they don't want to step on people's toes. And I don't know. interesting. Anyways, Dave says, I intend to start purifying myself. Need to be better. Me too, buddy. Bob says portals are real. I agree with that. The Israelite says, these people are blind to the truth. The truth is this technology of the dragon got rid of the heavens from the archangel's power back about 23,000 years ago. I'm not really sure that they got rid of the heavens. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. We'll definitely, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they're not in power and they're not spraying our skies and installing this 5G technology and even the technology that we had before. It's emitting harmful frequencies and just designed to hurt us, right? When it doesn't have to be. John says, take me to your leader. Well, I don't personally have a leader, but it'd be interesting, you know, if they do try to do this alien invasion. Yeah, because ultimately none of the people that are in power represent any of us. So, yeah, in some way worse representatives than others. Dave G says they had advanced tech before. Exactly. The tech we are given now is anti-human. Yup. John says, I truly believe that we are not alone in the universe. I agree with that, John. I think that humans are just the most recent of God's creation. There were, other species like the Jinn, the beings of smokeless fire, came pretty early on. The reptilians, the reptiles, dragons, snakes like Nakash. You know how they talk in the Bible about how Satan, was walking and able to even talk and stuff, and then cursed his belly. Different types of these very intelligent species that were center stage before humans, and then humans were created, and the whole story coming from the Islamic text says that God revealed this creation of Adam and was basically saying, everyone come and gather and see and bow and see how cool this creation is, and Satan was like, that's not cooler than me, bro. I'm not sorry, not getting down on my knees for that. But that's what kind of sparked this war, and different species, factions, battling it out for the center stage and being pushed out of the way, and it's just interesting dynamics. But I agree, we're definitely not alone. Stoic says, your thoughts on the 24-hour sun in Antarctica to disprove flat Earth? Well, ultimately, the only thing that would disprove flat Earth is if there's curvature, right? There's only one single factor that would say, is this surface that I'm looking at curved or sphere, or curved or flat? And that's curvature. So once we determine that, then we can start looking at the things in the sky. I personally have never been to Antarctica. I don't really trust the things that I see, but just not knowing how all the things in the sky work doesn't determine or disprove anything regarding the actual shape of the ground. Some people talk about the sun circling around the earth like this. The book of Enoch actually says that it enters into portals on one side and goes to the other, which is kind of a cool, it rises in the east and sets in the west, then scurries back to the place that it rises according to scriptures. So as far as the sun goes, I don't know its exact path, but I know that it doesn't disprove that the earth is flat. So Mordo says, I just identified a flush of turkey tail mushrooms. Ooh, cool. Growing in my yard while listening. That's really cool. I've never had turkey tail mushrooms. But it's really cool how many different types of mushrooms there are, and how, they have chicken of the woods kind of mushrooms and all these different flavors and varieties that, most humans don't know about. So that's pretty cool. Let me know if you make a tasty meal out of it. David says, God revealed humans and Satan refused to bow, sought to demonstrate humans are not worthy of creation. Satan and his anti-human agenda is why we see the spiritual warfare we do today. Exactly. Stoic says, nice, truly said. I can't measure curved water is my go-to point. Exactly. And until we can travel freely, as far as having a map or, what's at the ends of the earth, I have no idea, but I'm okay with not having all the answers as long as I have, solid ground to stand on, at least for some of the, the main facts. So, yeah, it'll be exciting during the Golden Age also be able to travel and to see, especially if the Book of Enoch is true with the loss of the luminaries, where he actually travels to the ends of the earth and sees all of the portals and all these different things. Like, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, I already read that. The Israelite says, known as carbon monoxide, to make it so we can't breathe carbon monoxide, nor can the trees breathe. Oh. Okay. Well, I definitely agree, the Israelite, that they're doing things to the air to, make it more difficult to breathe. But also some scriptures talk about how just even the death in the air from all of the animal agriculture is, permeating through the air, and it's shortening our lives. So no matter how raw you go, no matter how pure your diet is, how good of a faster you are, like, we're all still breathing this death in the air. And that alone is going to, bring about diseases in our bodies and shorten our lifespan. So we can't really end this mess fast enough on that note. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm probably going to get off of here soon because I got some other things to do at home today. David G says, we shall see what they continue to do with hail. With all the UFO drone nonsense, yes. My screen protector had a little crack in it, so it looked like an eye. Anyways. Yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that, David. And Bob says, y'all likely fans of Charles Schultz and the animated television special A Charlie Brown Christmas. I can't say that I have watched A Charlie Brown Christmas. Well, maybe like once when I was really little, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan of anybody's at all at this point, Anyways, okay. The Israelite says, may well you all have a merry peace. Merry Christmas to you. David says, have a good week. Oh, thanks. Raven says, a lot of bees dying here in LA lately. Aw, sorry to hear that. Ooh, happy holidays, 10 years vegan. That's awesome. Hopefully you can come up to Mount Shasta sometime and join me on the mountain. Come and try some of my food. That would be really, really cool. All right, guys, take care and have a great week. May God and may God bless you.